I was worried for a second then.
That's close, James.
The climate activist Greta Thunberg says our house is on fire. And unlike that simulation there, climate change is a serious issue.
Hello, my name is Kat.
And my name is James, and welcome back to What in the World?
And today we're back with 2 climate-related stories. So, James, kick us off.
Before I do though, got a quick question for you. What is your favourite type of crisps?
I actually like the ready salted.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like they're very underrated.
See, I am a massive fan of the sweet chili sensations. I can go through those at an unhealthy rate. Like, I chow down on them. Like, if there was a sweet chili sensation crisp eating competition, I'd be in it for the winner.
I never got the hype around them.
Really?
Yeah, was never a fan, to be honest.
It's either that or the barbecue Pringles.
That I can agree on.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Golden Wonder crisps?
No, what are they?
So they're not really around much anymore, but they were founded in 1947, and one of their 50-year-old crisp packets was found recently on a beach in Cornwall.
50 years? What?
Yeah, 50 years. Pretty crazy. So a girl called Emily, who runs a community organisation called Beach Guardian, believes the packet dates back to 1969. It was found with a price sticker of 7D, which we don't have anymore, but it's probably equivalent to about 7 pence. And this is a good reminder for us all that when we throw something away, it's never really away, because plastic will take hundreds of years to break down, if ever.
Well, exactly. If plastic does break down, it usually only breaks down into little pieces, but stays around for hundreds of years, like James said. And those small particles can easily get their way back into our food chain through the animals that we eat, or just like being in the soil that the animals are eating. It's very easily done. So actually, the plastic that we throw away, we then end up eating, which is kind of gross.
Yeah. And Emily has organised around 107 beach cleanups. She recently found a crisp packet from Walker's Crisps that dated back to 1997, which was the year that she was born.
That's nuts. But the thing is with Walkers, I think they definitely realised the need for us to do something. So they've actually introduced a scheme for crisp packets. So now if you collect all your crisp packets, or decide to do them monthly or annually, you can collect them all and send them to Walkers, and they will recycle it for you.
Oh, nice.
But also they have committed by 2050 to reduce their packaging and actually make them biodegradable and compostable.
That's great. I do think, though, it is still so important for us to check the back of packaging, because I think sometimes you can get these packaging and it says biodegradable, and people put it in the recycling, or people don't necessarily know how to dispose of it correctly, and it can still end up in landfill. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on the back of packaging, just to make sure that we are disposing of things correctly.
Yeah. But also, there are other ways to kind of go around it. You can also say no to crisps that are packet, and choose alternative snacks like popcorn, which you can make at home and buy it from a zero waste shop with just the seeds, the corn, and then pop them at home. Also, or like Emily, you can upcycle your crisp packets. In one of the articles, I found out that Emily actually made a dress out of crisp packets and wore it to her graduation to make a point of the need of us to stand for climate.
Nice.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, great source of upcycling right there.
Yeah, love it.
And great creativity. Moving on, though, to our next story. We all know that there has been a rapid growth in mental health issues, or at least we are talking about it now more than ever.
That's right. Research by UCL was released revealing that air pollution is actually relating to high rates of depression and suicide rates, especially among young people like us. And it says that it actually increases risk of depression in teenagers, and if we were to cut down pollution, we'd only need to cut down around the world to the EU legal limit, which I don't think is actually undoable.
Scientists believe, though, that these facts are likely, but it's difficult to prove beyond doubt. There's something called eco-anxiety, which is anxiety about the state of climate and climate change, and that could be causing sort of anxiety and depression more than we initially imagined. If it is true that there is that kind of relationship between the two, cutting pollution could prevent about 15% of people struggling with depression and mental health issues. And according to the World Health Organization, 264 million people currently have or are struggling with issues around depression.
What they're saying is basically that small particles of dirty air can reach our brain through bloodstream or our nose, which causes the brain to actually it causes inflammation in our brain, damages to our nerve system, and changes in stress hormone, which are all linked to poor mental health.
And even other research also suggests that air pollution could be linked to dementia, which causes a huge reduction in intelligence. In early 2019, a global review concluded that air pollution could be damaging every organ and even every cell in our body. Absolutely mental. What do you think?
Well, I just think that's just crazy. Like, it's just something that almost happens that we pretend to ignore and not see. But here are some like real physical implications of our polluted air. And I think what doesn't help is the speed that we're all operating. Especially like, I guess we live in London. I commute shorter distance, but you commute through London.
Yeah.
So you're stuck on public transport that is all collecting the air.
Yeah. And I do think that this need to kind of, as a young generation, to kind of go places, to go quicker, to be more successful, is linked to our kind of like rushing culture, which then also puts a demand. So we rush places, which either we drive more, we bus more, we shop more. We're all our more culture contributes to this particular problem. And I think something that we can do now, looking at our life, is looking at how do we slow down in different areas in our own life, in what we buy, in how we travel, in where we source our food from. How do we slow down that we don't kind of buy into the everything now culture?
Yeah, I agree. I think with the massive growth and innovation that we've seen over the years, that actually, yes, it brought accessibility, which is amazing. I think it did bring the world together through, flying and through internet, but also that created the whole, like you said, the now culture of like being so impatient. Is like, if you want something, you want it now. And so like, actually, if we're traveling, we have such great ways to travel. Do we have to choose and opt in for the shortest journey? And how will it actually impact our lives if we just took a train that was maybe 5 hours longer than the flight? Like, how does that actually impact our lives? Because realistically, you're still driving to the airport, which is going to take up more time than just the actual flight.
Yeah. And there was recently something I read on the BBC where you can kind of track travel, and it was so interesting, the amount of impact, the less impact you have on the planet if you're traveling by train than car or flight. Like, it's crazy amounts shorter. So I think it's definitely something to think about. And I just quite like a train. I can crack a book open.
I love a read.
Yeah, listen to a podcast. Netflix, YouTube. That kind of thing.
They usually have Wi-Fi on the trains now, which is amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all that we have for today for you. So thanks for watching, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons to see more content related to climate.
Yeah, and also feel free to comment below and let us know how you're finding these new stories. But we hope you have a great day. And that's all from We Are Tearfund. Bye for now.
Wow.